Yo. What's good with everybody? What's good? See if anybody pulls up. I'm a little late. The game ended probably like an hour ago by now, but King Arias, this is good. First like of the stream, let's get it. Yes, sir. Raiders for life. Raiders need to bring back Money Lynch behind Josh Jacobs and Drake. Sign Terrell Pryor as wide receiver, quarterback, and have Mariota and TB as backups, DeSean and OBJ. That's a whole lot. I don't see that happening, my brother, but that's a mouthful right there. Brando Mayock inked that contract as soon as the game ended. Yeah, that game was definitely tough. Let me see if some people pull up right here, but the game was definitely tough. I'm glad the Raiders signed DeSean Jackson. I think this probably means we're not going to get OBJ. I think that's pretty much what it means. Yes, so we signed DeSean Jackson. It was uh, confirmed, and it was put out by Josina Anderson, I believe. That let me see. Breaking: the Raiders are signing free agent wide receiver DeSean Jackson per Josina Anderson. So yes, DeSean Jackson is officially signing to the Las Vegas Raiders. Big time signing. We knew we had to bring somebody in, but what does this mean for OBJ? I think this just means that we ain't gonna get him at the end of the day. See who else pulled up in here. Fro from the East was good with a man. Yo, we need OBJ and Jackson. I don't know. How do you see us getting OBJ and DeSean Jackson? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this means we're not going to get OBJ. I want to be honestly. I think that's what this means. Us getting DeSean Jackson means we're not getting OBJ. This is just what I think, though. Anthony, appreciate you pulling up, bro. Glad to see you being able to make it. He says, "What? We just signed him? Yes, sir. We got DeSean Jackson, and we've been talking about it all last week after he was released or waived. I guess you would say waived. Also, OBJ being released or cut or whatever that situation was. So we knew we had to go get one of them to replace the Henry Ruggs with all the incident that had happened. Yes, sir. So we have signed DeSean Jackson. Yes, we signed DeSean Jackson. Jose says OBJ would have been a true number one. And that's what I was saying all last week. I said OBJ would be a true number one that we could actually keep around. DeSean Jackson is more just a Band-Aid. He'll probably play the rest of the season with us, but what is it after that, really? You know, I don't really see too much after that. It's more just a Band-Aid, just to cover up for the rest of the year. Douchebag Matt pulled up on us. Appreciate it, man. What up, Ray? Bad game by Carr and Waller today. Defense was solid doing what they do. Not too worried. Got a rebound next week. Go Raiders. I mean, we could jump into the post. We could talk about the Giants game, or we could talk about the signing from DeSean Jackson. Personally, I just want to knock out this DeSean Jackson signing. It's just a Band-Aid, in my opinion. You know, it's just covering up for what it's just covering up for the incident. We needed that, yeah. Jose says signing Jackson is an L. I wouldn't say an L. I would just say it's a Band-Aid, and it's not really the direction I would have really wanted to go in. But it must mean that we couldn't get OBJ, or something with OBJ is going on to where it just seems like we weren't going to be able to be in that race. And it might have to do with cap situation, maybe. I don't know. I'm not the biggest cap guy, so I couldn't tell you that. But most definitely, I could tell you is this is a Band-Aid move. That's all it is. But we had to go pick him up. I'm not against it because I did want DeSean Jackson or OBJ. We had to go get one of these guys. Imagine Wagon says we needed a guy to be a deep threat. Yeah. After today's performance, and I was saying it in the pregame, y'all. I was saying it in the pregame, and I'll say it again. You can't expect this offense to be the same after losing their best wide receiver. It just wasn't going to work. It just wasn't going to happen. People kept saying we're going to put up 30-plus points. I'm like, how? How do you see us putting up 30-plus points on this Giants team when we just lost our best wide receiver? Our only game changer, the only one that really changes up a game plan. Now people could just bracket Waller. Sean says, I think we need OBJ too because Edwards has not been stepping up for us. Nobody's going to step up, just randomly step up now that Ruggs is gone. If that would have been the case, they would have already been doing it. Edwards would have been doing it. Zay Jones would have been doing it. Hunter Renfrow is Hunter Renfrow. He is a slot receiver. He's not going to go out there and play your X receiver or not. You know what I mean? So, like, come on. He's not the wide receiver one. He's just not. Erica says, we weren't guaranteed to get OBJ, though. Got to get something. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think this is just painting the picture to say, hey, we're probably not going to be able to get OBJ. I think this is kind of what it's saying. The cap space and whatever else is going on behind the scenes, that this was a move to where, okay, we got to get this guy. The Raiders look bad on defense and offense, bad effort all around. Oof, I don't know about that. I don't agree. I think the defense looked pretty good. We gave up 14 points, which isn't really bad. We gave up 14 points, got some sacks in there, strips. The offense definitely was the issue today. The offense. We need to move on from Edwards, honestly. We need to move on from Edwards. Edwards is who we've seen him all season. This is the thing I'm trying to say. I try not to be a homer. I try to be transparent. I try not to be biased because I try to be realistic. It's football. You just look at it as football. I'm just so happen to be a Raiders fan. And let me tell you, we've seen Edwards all season. He hasn't done anything to say, oh, now he's going to step up because Ruggs is not in the picture anymore. You can't expect that. You can't expect that from Zay Jones either. Fro from the East says, except Waller, he's a beast. Jacobs is a role player. I'm done with him. Oof, those are strong words because I know Jacobs is definitely the best way I could put it is Jacobs. I don't see him staying with the Raiders after this contract. I see him moving on from the Raiders. If we re-sign him, it must be a pretty good deal. If we don't get a good deal on Jacobs, I do not see him staying with us. As far as Waller is a beast, but I don't know what it is with him catching the football. He's been having some issues this year, though, because I looked up his stats in the pregame. He's only had one game over 100 yards so far, and the rest of the games are kind of subpar. That's what I was concerned about losing out on Ruggs, is that you lose Ruggs, which is plenty of production, plenty of an issue for the defenses to try and figure out in game planning. But also at the same time, Waller hasn't been producing like that. Edwards hasn't shown us anything to say, okay, he could step up and take over as wide receiver one. Zay Jones was our fourth, really was kind of our fifth wide receiver on the depth chart, turned into our fourth because Snead wanted to dip. Then he turned into our second because of the Ruggs situation. So that right there is just, you can't just be a homer, I guess, what you would call it. You can't just be strictly biased because you're a Raiders fan. We already knew this was going to happen. Some people would admit it. Some people wouldn't. That doesn't mean Raiders OBJ go elsewhere. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Louis said Zay Jones wasn't cutting it. I don't think Zay Jones needs to cut it. He has his role. He plays his role just fine. You can't expect him a fifth string wide receiver, really a fifth string wide receiver. You want him to be your wide receiver one, your wide receiver two now? Like, come on. You can't expect that. That's just the expectations of the fans. That's all that was. Let's see. Let me get way down here. Nigerian Prince. Let me get to some of the comments down here. Nigerian Prince said, we needed this move. Edwards and Zay Jones, not it. We also shouldn't be paying Waller shit next season. We need to bring in Devontae Adams at all costs. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say much more, man. Edwards and Zay, we knew they weren't the guys. We've been saying it all week. People think they were going to step up just because you're a Raiders fan doesn't mean they're going to step up. I'm telling you all right now. They have their roles. We know who Edwards is. Zay Jones plays his role just fine. We're just trying to shove him into a spot that he doesn't belong. You can't do that to players. Toxic Yeti. And when we needed Colton to protect Carr's blind side after being perfect all year, he let us down. Yeah, that was pretty tough right there. You don't let up a sack all game. You don't let up a sack the game before. I mean, this would have been the third game without giving up a sack. And that's ultimately what happens. We end up giving up a sack, and it was crucial. At all times, it was real crucial. Raider Ray says, Zay not the one. Tickler says we are getting Jacobs hurt by running him 3 plays in a row. I don't think that's what it is. We're not playing him. We're not running him 3 plays in a row and then he gets hurt. He has to step up. You know what I mean? He's got to step up and do his thing. As far as the injuries, I mean, dude, you can't really hear any excuses when it comes to that. OT6, shout out to all the people on the pregame show that Zane Edwards are number ones. Yo, OT6, yo, what we say, bro? What do we say? These guys are not number one wide receivers. We were going to have to bring someone in. And look, we brought in DeSean Jackson. It's not really a coincidence because we all knew that we had to bring someone in, that we were OBJ, DeSean Jackson out there. It's just like, boom, once the game is over, we go and get DeSean Jackson. So appreciate the super chat, brother. Yeah, you for sure. Shout out to all the ones that says Zay and Edwards are number ones. Like, come on now. Agent Red, a lot of us so-called teams lost today. We just need to bounce back next week. Yeah. So you have the Bills lost to the Jags. Like, that's crucial right there. You lost to the Jags. That's terrible. And then you have the Broncos beat the hell out of the Cowboys. Like, beat the shit out the Cowboys. How you do that? The Broncos? I mean, it was just a different kind of day. You know what I mean? It was just a different kind of day. I don't know what it was, but something was in the air. I don't know if it was the time change or what. Mark Cunningham, DeSean Jackson said he's going to sign with the Raiders. Yeah. Jeremy says, who knows? We might get OBJ still. I don't know. If you guys think we're still going to get OBJ, let me know. If you guys think we're still going to get OBJ, give me a thumbs up. If it's DeSean Jackson and that's it, put a thumbs down. Because I think DeSean Jackson and that's it. I don't see us getting OBJ at this point. I just don't. Laker Nation, for people who believe that Zay Jones can handle Ruggs' responsibilities, had to eat their words today. I don't want to hear anything else about that bum straight up. Yeah, that's cold, man. That's cold. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a bum though, man, because I like Zay Jones, and that's what we kept talking about is the fact that look, Zay Jones plays his role very well. Let's not take him out that role. Just leave him where he's at. We need somebody to replace the person we had. You can't take a guy out the role to play a different one and think he's going to be able to somehow fulfill it to its fullest duty. And it's not going to happen like that. It just doesn't work like that. Florida Boy says, if Colton going to hold, you can't let the guy. Yeah, most definitely. If you're going to hold, you can't let the guy get the sack. Just tackle him. I'd rather get backed up 10 yards than both. You let him get the sack, strip, sack, fumble, and you still held him. That don't even make sense. Florida Boy, that's straight facts. I really feel like we don't need a wide receiver one. We just need a burner like Ruggs who keeps the defense honest and a safety over the top to open up the underneath for Waller, Ruggs. For Waller, Renfro, and Edwards, and the shotgun runs. My guy. Were you trolling me? Was that a joke? White Tyson, or you just had a little brain fart right there? I still think Carr is the man, but he took one on the chin today. Yeah, Carr, look, I'm a Carr fan. Everybody knows I'm a Carr fan. He didn't play that well today. He didn't. But we don't have the weapons. It's not going to be the same offense if you don't have the weapons. You guys got to look at all the teams that are stacked around the league. Like, look at Josh Allen got his ass whooped today by the Jags. He lost to the Jags. He didn't lose to Stephon Diggs, though. Stephon Diggs was still playing in the game. Dak Prescott comes back for the Cowboys. They get whooped. He had Cooper. He had Lamb. He still got Cedric Wilson, Zeke Elliott. So, I mean, who really has the excuse to say, hey, something messed up? Phil from the East pulled up. He says, LL Mayock seen him enough. OBJ is coming soon. Mayock is just waiting. Edwards and Jones is straight ass, respectfully. Ruggs was missed, but I think situation like last week helped with this. OBJ coming soon. Yo, Farrell from the East said it here. He said it first. He said, we getting OBJ. I mean, the dude's been spot on. As far as I know, everything he said has been pretty spot on. I like his commentary. But he said we getting OBJ. This is the first time I'm it's questionable. This is the first time I could even question Farrell from the East because He be spitting straight facts most of the time. But if you think we get OBJ, okay, I mean, we gonna see, man. That's gonna be a tough one. I don't know if we get OBJ. I think the fact we got DeSean Jackson pretty much writes off the fact we get OBJ. But if we end up with both, I mean, I don't know. Could we sign both? I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. We probably need to find out the details of DeSean Jackson signing. I don't know if they've been posted yet. I think the only thing that's really been dropped is the fact that we did sign him. But outside of that, I don't think the contract has actually been put out. Let me see if they did. Yeah, I don't see any contract details. Yeah, I don't see any contract details at all. So honestly, I don't know if we'd be able to or if we can afford it. The last time I checked, when I checked over the cap, if I check over the cap, we have about 4 million in cap space, I believe, because we moved some cap restructuring Jalen Richard's deal. Yeah, we restructured Jalen Richard's contract. And what the hell is this? Yeah. Cap space, and we have team cap space is 2.9 million. According to over the cap, we have 2.9 million. Now I don't know if that's in consideration of picking up that extra dough from restructuring Jalen Richard's, but Jalen Richard's contract, but we'll see what happens. We'll see when they drop it. I'm sure they will. Jeremy says our wide receivers couldn't get separation at all today. Yeah, so a lot of those passes you'll see, the damn wide receivers covered like a blanket. We don't have any weapons. We got to stack talent, y'all. We have to stack talent. Arkham Raider in the building. Agent Red in the building. Let's get up in here. He's a depth player. Tyrone Chappelle is in the building. Who's a depth player? DeSean Jackson? Sean L. Facts, you said it correct, Ray. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Let me know what you think, man. Doc Holliday. I think we have to try as hard as we would if Jackson wasn't signing. Yeah, I mean, we need to stack talent at the end of the day. We lost our best young talent in Henry Ruggs, really. We have to replace that. DeSean Jackson's just a band-aid. We definitely need him, but he is just a band-aid at the end of the day. Diggs was beating the game. Yeah, if y'all can hit the like button, we over 140 deep. If y'all can't hit the like button for me, appreciate it. If y'all new here, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man, because I'm gonna definitely have to drop that DeSean Jackson all 22 film just to see what he be doing over there with the Rams. See what Matt Stafford got going on over there as well, because we know that's where he's coming from in the last few years. Let's go ahead and go over DeSean Jackson's stats the last few years. We know that he hasn't been playing that much. I know his stats are pretty low the last couple years. Let's go right here. So DeSean Jackson, we're going to go ahead and go over DeSean Jackson's last few. Phil from the East says, game reminded me of the Bears game. Rug situation, shake my head. Yeah, game. The Bears game, I think the Bears game was a lot worse. Maybe not, but it definitely had vibes like the Bears game, most definitely. The only thing with the Bears game is that obviously John Gruden had the situation going on, and it you could have said it affected us, right? Now with the Ruggs situation, the reason I think it's different than the John Gruden situation is because you're taking talent off the field. You see what I'm saying? John Gruden, what is he doing? Calling the plays on offense during the game day. So now you have Derek Carr and Greg Olsen. Who's to say you really fell off that much? But when you take a whole player out of the game in Henry Ruggs, then that changes everything because you're taking talent off of the field. John Gruden wasn't doing anything on the field or making the defense worry because he was on the field or anything like that. That's what we need, though. Cody Mays, yes, sir. We signed DeSean. Definitely going to have to drop that all 22 on DeSean Jackson tonight, trying to go ahead and knock that out. Florida Boy says, Ray, what can we do schematically with what we got? I like throwing to the backs. Brady made a career of that. Yeah. I mean, as far as the scheme, man, we're gonna have to play the same way because I feel like when we start to play that small ball underneath, like we did against the Eagles, and then we try to go back to it. We try to go back to it this week, kind of. It doesn't work out because you start to get those underneath routes jumped. People start jumping those routes. I remember seeing this last year and the year before when we would play super conservative, throw those underneath routes, and people would pick them off. I was tired of that because nobody was worried about a deep threat. That's why you're able to pick the ball off. Nobody's worried about anybody else. So you have to have a threat. Defensive backs aren't going to sit there and jump a bunch of routes when they're worried about a guy beating you deep. I'm telling y'all right now. How often did y'all see a guy jump a route and get interceptions before today? You didn't see that. We have to continue playing aggressive, playing downfield, throwing the ball downfield, all this underneath stuff, all these comeback routes, all these little short throws. We have to keep throwing it deep to our receivers, but we don't have any. You see one play where Derek Carr steps up in the pocket, throws it deep, and it almost gets interception. And it's like Brian Edwards wasn't there. There was two defenders. It's like, dude, usually we would see that ball's going to Ruggs most of the time. We just watched a situation where usually it'd be Ruggs, but this time it's Edwards, and he completely wasn't even close. Wasn't even close to being there. Jesse wrote us in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Certified member. Yes, sir. Topsy Crest says, man, I hope this ain't like the collapse we had like the last two seasons. And, man, when I was sitting there watching it, I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, I hope it's not either because – but the thing is, last year we came off of the bye and we won 3 straight games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, last year we won 3 straight games after losing after that week. Let me check real quick on the game logs, 2020. Because we've had pretty bad history in the bye week in the past. And so last year we had a bye week in week 6. And then week 7 we played Tampa and we lost. Y'all remember that game? Y'all remember that game against Tampa? That was an ugly game. Okay. And that was coming off of the bye. That was coming off of the bye week. Now, if you look at after that Tampa game last year, we beat Cleveland, we beat the Chargers, and then we beat Denver, and then we lost to KC. And if we look at the year before that, let's go ahead and look at 2019 real quick after the bye week, just to see, just have an idea. We had the bye week on week 6 in 2019, came out and lost to the Green Bay Packers. Dang, lost week 8 as well, and then won 3 straight. So that's interesting. So we'll have to see what happens, man, because obviously we don't have a good record coming out after the bye week. Ray Love's in the building. What's good with it, Ray Love? Farrell Facts, yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Raiders 805. Carr was overthrowing receivers. I mean, I'm not. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't really say that because I just felt like the whole offense didn't play that well. Honestly, the receivers wasn't getting no separation. He was just trying to get the ball to him, honestly. Raider Zach Ray, just like we talked about last live, look how the Giants defended us. They weren't worried about getting beat deep, so we didn't have guys running open underneath all day like we did with Ruggs. Like exactly, Raider Zach. We talked about it in the last live, in the pregame show. Not having Ruggs is going to change the way the game is. Also, you have to think about the fact that you have to have somebody they respect on the field, and that's a playmaker. We need a playmaker on the field. At least with Djax, we should get that back. Yeah, so hopefully we can get that back. And the thing with DeSean Jackson is he's played – last year he started 5 games. Last year he started 5 games and got 14 receptions. In 2019, he started 3 games. So we'll have to see how consistent he could be. He hasn't started any games this year. He's played in 7 games. He has 15 targets on 8 receptions for 221 yards. That's 27 yards per catch, per reception. He has 1 touchdown. So right now he's sitting at 8 receptions for 220 yards and a touchdown. That's what DeSean Jackson's stats are looking like right now. We should have ran the ball more low key with this. Yeah. So in the I don't know what we were doing towards the end right there, because when you look at the play-by-play, say you look at the play-by-play, let's look at our last 3 drives. Our last 3 drives were terrible. You look at our last 3 drives of the game. We get the ball all the way down to New York Giants 7-yard line. We're 3rd and 6 at New York Giants 10-yard line. Derek Carr pass short left to Jacobs for 3 yards. So now it's 4th and 3. We go for the field goal and we miss it. So the score is 16-20. We're down 4 points, but we missed the field goal. They get the ball back and they punt it. We get the ball back on our own 12. Throw it to Brian Edwards. It's incomplete. You throw it to Waller. It's a 12-yard pass, first down. We get the ball first down on our 24-yard line. Then we throw an interception. They get the ball, kick a field goal. Now it's 16-23. The last possession, as we know, it was a strip sack fumble. So those last 3 possessions were just, I don't know what it was, but it was just looking tough. We did run the ball a little bit, but the last 2 possessions were just straight up passes. I don't think the fact that we were passing the ball was too much of an issue, though, because of the fact that it was effective, right? That last drive, we made it all the way downfield. It just so happened that it ended up being a strip sack. You see, so I think we did need to run I think we do need to run the ball more and not forget about it. And I agree, though. We did get away from it, but it was just a weird game. It was just a weird game. I can't really point my finger at one specific person or thing. He says, what game were you watching? The defense gave up 14 points, man. What are you talking about, 805? You said it was a bad game, offense and defense. If somebody in the chat thinks the defense had a bad game, let me know. Let me know if y'all think the defense had a bad game. Because I don't know. There was I just don't see it. I just don't think the defense really had that bad a hit. 6 quarterback hits, a pass deflection, 6 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. As we know, we got a forced fumble. And we held them to, 20? We held them to 17 points. No, don't pull Carr unless we down 24 points or something crazy. One possession, Carr gives us the best chance to win. Mariota is not that guy, pal. Yeah, people trying to come out of the woodworks. Right at Dangerfield, we needed this signing. Yeah, most definitely. We definitely needed this. Defense improving for sure. Not their fault today. Elite quarterbacks need 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. A game, no excuse. Yeah. Carr wasn't playing like Carr. Yep, most definitely. Hell no, it was all on the offense, including the plays. See, that's what I'm saying. The chat just couldn't stop the run. That's all. Yeah, but that's the thing. You got to think about it. You give up 20 points. Not even 20 points. You give up 17 points. You got to think. The offense turned the ball over on their own side of the field, and we stopped them to where they can only get a field goal. After we threw an interception, we stopped them. They only got a field goal out of that. We missed the field goal, and then we forced them to punt. So the defense was in even pretty tough situations because of the offense, and they still did pretty good. So I wouldn't even go close to saying anything about the defense. Run defense was trash, but I expect that. Yeah, exactly. In my community post, I posted and I asked you guys, what would you more worried about, the run defense or the red zone defense? So we already knew that we have issues in those categories, but the fact we only gave up 17 points, you know what I mean, in that last field goal was kind of garbage. Not really garbage. The offense turned the ball over. You know what I mean? Agent Red, defense did their job. Yes, sir. Let's hope he still has juice. I think he does. I think he does, man. Don't know why we didn't target Edwards more besides those few. You have to get open. I think that's why. We'll have to go back and look at the film. We'll have to go back and look at the film. But I think you have to get open. I don't think guys were getting open like that. Carr usually plays bad on the East Coast. That's what people say. That's what people say, man. It's tough. It's tough to say that, but I feel like last year when we played the Jets, he was playing pretty well. Nah, they did enough to win the game. Offense was off most of the game. Yeah, offense was off most of the game. I don't see anybody really saying the defense was playing bad. Raiders 805 said this game should have been 35-17. But that's the thing. You said the defense didn't have a bad game, but the game should have been 35-17. That's confusing. That's confusing, brother. You're gonna have to. I don't know. I'm not even sure what's going on right now with that. Larry Fleming, what's good with it, man? They didn't show up. More than likely, the week of did not do us any good. Oh, the week off did not do us any good, and the team's mental was far removed from the game for obvious reasons. Yeah, most definitely. I don't know if it's Carr per se coming off of bye weeks because we've been having some tough time winning after bye weeks. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they just need to keep playing football. But the last 2 years after a bye week, we did go on 3-game winning streaks. After bye weeks, the last 2 seasons, we have gone on 3-game winning streaks. And if we can go on a 3-game winning streak, we need to do it here soon. We need to do it here soon. ONT6, we signed a D-Jax for the rest of the year. Then we go sign Adams and draft a wide receiver. Now, I like that. I definitely like that because we need to stack talent. We have the offensive line now. This is offensive line. These guys are signed, right? These guys are signed. We drafted all of these guys. They can stick together as one cohesive unit. We also have Incognito. So having D-Jax as a Band-Aid for the rest of this year, and if we are able to get Adams, we definitely have to go get him, and we have to draft another wide receiver because I don't see Brian Edwards really cutting it. I just don't. I haven't all year, so I don't see anything changing. Jeffrey Swan says just feel like something was off. Yeah, most definitely. 510 Raiders says, think we look for a speed receiver in the draft. D-Jax isn't long term. Yeah, it's just a Band-Aid. I think everybody kind of understands that it's just a Band-Aid and woof. OBJ would have been a better solution, but when you get DeSean Jackson, I feel like it's really a Band-Aid. Over $20 million per year for Adams, who we keep on defense. I wouldn't if we had to give Adams $20 million per year, what do we have to give? What do we have to give Adams $20 million per year? That seems crazy. That seems wild. $20 million per year. Dang. DeAndre Hopkins is getting 27.2. Julio Jones gets 22 on average. Keenan Allen gets 20 on average. Holy shit. Oh man, we're gonna be cashing out. We're gonna be cashing out. Jeremy says, agree with ONT6. Yeah, ONT6 always spin fast. That's my boy right there. That's my boy right there. ONT6 is right. Yes, sir. You already know it. You already know you're right. Hey, if y'all know, make sure y'all hit the. If y'all want to join the membership, Ready to Tape membership, remember y'all can hit the join button. Y'all can choose which tier you want to join, and we could do some film breakdown, membership only live breakdown that we'll be doing. ONT6. Hope you're gonna pull up to one of them, man, so we can check out some film together. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But man, this game was tough though. When you look at it let's look at it from across the game, from the start, from the beginning to the end, and look at our drives. Right, we had 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different drives. We had 10 offensive drives that we could have opportunities to score the ball. We had 1 missed field goal. Let's start back. So let's start at the beginning. We scored a touchdown on the opening drive. We punt, we kick a field goal. We punt, we kick another field goal. We kick another field goal. Interception for a touchdown. And that's pretty much it. So we got a touchdown and 3 field goals. A touchdown and 3 field goals on 10 possessions. On 10 possessions. So obviously we're having some issues when it comes to the red zone offense. And I remember having these issues. What's good with it, Ryan? Yes, sir. He said, I blame Honcho. Yeah, it's because Honcho pulled up to the game, huh? It's because Honcho pulled up to the game. That's why. Devon says, I hate that we don't get off the field when it's 3-10. Yeah, that's that's frustrating, man, because you think about it, you would think that would be able to stop them, but our third down defense is pretty good. Now, when it's long, third and long, I agree, man. It seems like when it's third and long, we be having some issues sometimes. I don't know what that's about. Is it Michael Gallup available next year? Would you like him on the Raiders? What's up, Ray? Exo Sounds, appreciate you pulling up, man. Glad to see you able to make it. And Michael Gallup, I'd go get him for sure. I'd go get Michael Gallup. He's definitely a good football player. He's a good wide receiver. Dallas has a lot of weapons over there, man. I don't know how their offense wouldn't be able to get it done, but they have a lot of weapons. And if we're able to get Michael Gallup, especially for the low, you got to go get him. We need to stack talent on this team. We be really out here just on some bare minimum type stuff, you know? What's the Chargers game looking like right now? Because I know the Broncos won, and I think who's playing right now? The Chargers are playing the Eagles. Okay, it's in the fourth quarter, 16-17, and the Chiefs play. When the Chiefs play, and the Chiefs are winning 13-0. Oh man. Dang, that's cold. That is cold. I got Josh Allen on my fantasy team. That boy ain't do nothing. He didn't do anything. That man didn't do anything, Josh Allen. But it's a weird day because a lot of teams lost today. Supposed, right? Dark Raider says, can we still sign OBJ? I don't think so, man. I don't see the cap. I don't see how the cap space would work. J-Rock says, why no one talking about Carlson missed field goal and extra point? Yeah. I just kind of brought it up right now. We missed the field goal. I don't know how we missed that field goal. It was a field goal from the New York 7-yard line. You definitely got to hit that. I don't know how you missed that one. Let me see real quick. Carr isn't bad. He just had a bad day. He is only human. Yeah, I don't think Carr's bad at all. I don't think Carr's bad at all, man. He's definitely solid. But yeah, the news is out, yo. As everybody knows, we signed DeSean Jackson. We got our speedster. We got our replacement, supposed replacement for Henry Ruggs. We'll see how it works out. We definitely had to go get somebody, especially after this performance. I think it showed a little bit. I think it showed a lot of bit actually about our team. And hey, what can we do at this point? What can we do at this point? I don't think we can get both OBJ and DeSean Jackson. Ray, can you let everyone know who wanted to draft Perriman? That boy Owen T6 tells me every single time. That boy will tell me every time, like, yo, I wanted to get Perriman. And he's right, yo. Perriman he wanted to actually draft Perriman, Owen T6. But the fact that he said that and then he ended up on our team and he's balling out, that's dope. Ryan says the Bills lost to the Jags. I don't feel that bad about this loss. The only reason I do feel bad about this loss is because we lost Ruggs, and I feel like that's kind of affecting the way we're playing. You know, the Josh Allen didn't lose Diggs, right? The Cowboys lost, got whipped by the Broncos. They got Dak back, right? Didn't they get Dak back? And they didn't lose Cooper and they didn't lose Lamb, as far as I'm aware. So we lost somebody. So that's what's kind of difficult. That's what's interesting. But yeah, man, if y'all want to join Ready to Take membership, y'all can hit the join button. Let me know. I'm gonna dip y'all right here. And I'm gonna pull back up on the membership live later on. Y'all let me know. Make sure you hit the membership, hit the like button on the way. Y'all appreciate y'all pulling up. This is y'all first time. Hit the subscribe button. As y'all know, we signed DeSean Jackson. I know it's a tough loss, but I'll see y'all tomorrow for the Good Morning Nation show. Make sure y'all pull up tomorrow morning. Y'all know I do the day after the game. I always do my morning show. Until next time, y'all ready.